Cheyenne was speechless and overwhelmed. What she had experienced had only been half as bad as Glacio's past. He seemed to have had everything he could have ever wanted, and because of a single mistake his whole life had been ruined. My gosh, what he went through is terrible. What would have happened if he wasn't the chosen one? Then he certainly wouldn't have such a fulfilled life, but on the other hand, not so many horrible things would have happened. He even had a wife. I can't imagine that with him. He's actually the total unfaithful guy. Maybe he only became like that after this terrible event. That would also agree with Sasha's statement. Well, after such a traumatic experience, you probably just change. It must be terrible for him to know that his whole family was killed in agony because of him. But he has caught himself afterwards, wants to go on living, has not given up hope for a better future, and certainly wants to take revenge on the knights. Glaczio and Sasha are so strong. Why can't I be like the two of them? Cheyenne noticed that the healer's eyes were getting a little watery, but no tears were shed. He just stared out at the wide sea with a blank stare. Glacio's story had made the girl so sad that her eyes also watered. She remembered something he had said before and reproached herself. Then she said what she thought. I'm so sorry for everything. If it hadn't been for me, your family would still be alive. You're right. Now I understand even better why you were so mean to me. You must hate me for what I did to you. But I didn't want that, and... The healer interrupted Cheyenne and looked at her. His gaze was now strong and brave. Angel, stop reproaching yourself immediately, okay? I regret what I said before. It's not your fault that you were born a chosen one and the knights got wind of it. Besides, it was my mistake, which is why my family is no longer with us. If I had thought better, not acted so selfishly, and had been more considerate of them, none of this would have happened. But still, I always tried to blame you for it, because then it was easier for me to cope with and suppress. You were just my scapegoat. Forgive me for that. And now I've made another mistake. I had the opportunity to accompany you on your journey, to protect you so that you arrive safely, to observe you so that you don't make the same mistakes as I did, and to take revenge on the damn knighthood of light. I lost the chance through my own fault. I really hope that nothing happens to you and that you don't do as many stupid things as I did. Glacio sighed and turned away. He jumped from the small wall and his legs landed gently in the fine sand. The healer walked towards the sea. That was probably the farewell. But after everything Cheyenne had learned now, she couldn't let it end that way. He regrets all his mistakes, you can tell. He just wants a chance for revenge in the future. It's really bothering him right now that he treated me so meanly. I feel that. But even though I feel sorry for him, I can't forget what happened. Would he really be loyal to one side? I can't trust him yet. He's too changeable. I believe his story, but what if it's all just a big trap? If the knights and he are just fooling me to trick me? Glacio can lie so well that I would trust him to do the same. On the other hand, I believe that everything he had just said was real. Oh, I guess I should. Only give a single tiny second chance. That's the least I can do for him. Cheyenne also jumped off the stone wall and ran after the healer, closely followed by Adokas. She stopped behind Glacio and tried to suppress her trembling. The girl thought briefly about her choice of words, then made him an offer in a determined voice. Glacio, listen. I can't forget what you did, but I'd feel really bad if I didn't give you one last chance. You want to take revenge and fight for a future, if I understood correctly. Besides, to put it in your words, you're too useful when it comes to protecting and defending me. I suggest that you accompany me, if you wish. Under one condition. Should you ever lie to me again or be as mean to me as yesterday and today and so on, you have to leave for good. This is now... I'm in earnest. So what do you say? The healer turned to Cheyenne and looked at her incredulously but still sternly. Then he sighed and averted his gaze. No, little angel. Your good-naturedness is a blessing, but only if you use it correctly. What you are doing right now is very stupid. Have you forgotten yet? We are birth-related natural mortal enemies. I would only continue with you if you didn't know who I am, but I've already told you. Besides, if you show up with me at the Shadow Servants, you'll be immediately doubted, I guarantee you. It pains me to decline your offer, believe me, but it's for the good of all of us. It's bad enough that we've already spent so much time together, doll. The healer turned around again and the wind blew through his long, beautiful hair. Then Cheyenne remembered what he had said before. So we are no longer allowed to travel together just because of our fates? I thought you wanted to escape your destiny and have your freedom. You want to make your own decisions and not let the past catch up with you, if I understood correctly. You didn't want to accept your fate and go your own way. Then you can certainly overlook the fact that we are enemies from birth due to our predetermined fate, and you can break away from it by your own decision. The freedom to determine your own life and go your own way. But if you don't want to, that's your business, so I only made you this offer so that I wouldn't feel bad later. Fair enough. So this is where we part ways. Thank you for everything. Farewell. The girl was about to turn around and leave when Glaczio turned back to her. Cheyenne stopped and waited to see what he wanted to say. His gaze spoke volumes, and she knew that she had chosen exactly the right words. Revelation and knowledge could be read in his eyes as if they had been written there. The healer found his voice again and expressed his thanks. Cheyenne Leblesse, chosen one of darkness. You are not only my little angel, but truly a gift from heaven. Thank you. I almost let myself be led back to the old path of damnation, but you have just helped me to stay on the path of freedom. I will never understand how one can be so kind, but I appreciate it very much. You're the first to give me a chance since then. I hereby swear that I will make good use of it and protect you, little angel, even if I have to give my life for it. It is a great honor for me to fight at your side, and I accept your offer with great pleasure. At the last sentence, Glaczio had started to grin and bowed. Cheyenne had to smile. She didn't expect such a formal speech. The healer seemed very happy that this opportunity was made possible for him, and she herself was also happy, because the girl now felt much better than before. She just hoped that she had made the right decision and wouldn't regret it later. Now I just have to teach Sasha. When will she actually come? Hopefully nothing happened. Cheyenne and Glaczio went back to the wall and sat down again to wait for Sasha together. Adokas didn't trust the healer at all anymore and growled at him constantly. Not even the order of his owner silenced him. But the chosen one of light did not let himself be disturbed by this and looked contentedly at the sea. After a few minutes of soothing silence, Cheyenne heard light footprints on the slab floor approaching. "Sasha!" She was happy and stood up. Glaczio did the same and grinned at the young woman like a honey cake horse. She then put on a shocked look, but paid no further attention to him and turned to her friend. "I actually found someone who bought the horses, but it was really the only interested party here, so I had to give them to him for a price that was way too cheap. I tried to negotiate, but the stubborn donkey just didn't want to pay any more. And before we continue to have the horses on our necks and no money, I prefer to accept. Cheyenne, what's the idiot doing here? If he has hurt a hair of your head, then I will tie him to a large stone and sink him in the sea." The girl shook her head wildly and clarified the situation, while the healer continued to grin and tilted his head. "No, Sasha, I'm fine. He didn't do anything. So, you may not like it, but Glaczio will continue to accompany us. I talked to him and learned the reasons for his behavior and wanted to give him a second chance. Everyone deserves a second chance, doesn't he?" Sasha looked at Cheyenne in disbelief, sighed, and found the language again. "You did what? Are you serious? He told you who he is, am I right? Is that enough reason for you to forgive the icicle everything? Is your brain frozen now too? Oh, Cheyenne! But you really don't learn anything, do you? Ah, second chance. Pfft. All right. But I don't give you a guarantee that he will survive the following nights. Cheyenne didn't want her friend to talk like that, even though she understood her reaction all too well. Sasha, stop saying something like that. He's back to us now, yes? I've made a deal with him, and he knows what happens if he doesn't stick to it. I understand that you want to get rid of him, but just look at it this way. He can fight well, is smart. If I can't defend myself properly again, he helps you to protect me, and, when he's with us, we don't need so much money. Cheyenne did her best to convince her friend, and she succeeded, because she calmed down and nodded briefly before she made another request to the girl. All right, as you like. You have convinced me. But I will keep a close eye on him at all costs. And please promise me one thing. Don't trust him again, understood? He's only here to get us to our destination faster, remember that. Cheyenne nodded because she did not intend to put her full trust in the healer again. He would have to work for it again over time, and not even then it was certain that everything would be the same as before. But the girl had the feeling that she had done the right thing. Sasha became cheerful again and held the bills in front of Cheyenne's nose. She waved it and took her friend's hand, led her towards the small restaurant, and revealed what she was up to. Are you hungry? With these wonderful banknotes here we can go out for dinner. I invite you, of course. I am about to starve, so hop hop. After that, we'll think about how we get over the sand passage. Cheyenne had to grin and try to keep up with her friend. She was also hungry and happy that the whole situation had relaxed. Arukas walked next to the two, and Glaczio, his arms crossed behind his head, walked behind them and followed the three. In a good mood, he made an announcement. Hey, Sasha Mouse, that's the best idea you've had today. Oh, and let the sand passage just be my concern. I already have a plan.